Hello. Art Nouveau, an international style of architecture and art, particularly decorative art, emerged in the late 19th century in Belgium and in France, in Italy and elsewhere, characterised by sinuous whiplash lines, asymmetry and a sense of dynamism, drawing ideas and inspiration from nature and influenced by the aesthetic movement in art. It took its French name from the Maison de l'Art Nouveau, which opened in Paris in 1895, showcasing new styles. Different names were used elsewhere, Jugendstil in Germany for example. In common with the earlier arts and crafts movement, it broke down the distinction between fine and applied arts. The first Art Nouveau inspired architecture appeared in Brussels in the 1890s. Among the pioneers, Belgian architect and designer Victor Horta. Not all of his work has survived, but there are 4 private houses or hotels that now have UNESCO World Heritage Site status. Hotel Tassel, designed and built for Professor Emile Tassel in 1892 and 93, features interior ironwork with flowing curvilinear botanical forms. The ornate interior, which floods with natural light, is concealed behind a stone facade designed to fit in with the more traditional houses on either side. Horta's Hotel Solvay was built between 1895 and 1900. Hotel van Eetvelt was completed in 1898, along with Horta's own maison and atelier with an iron and stone facade and more elaborate ironwork inside. It's now the Horta Museum, dedicated to celebrating his work. Victor Horta influenced Hector Guimard, who designed the first Art Nouveau apartment building in Paris, Castel Berenguer, completed in 1898. This is the entrance hall and one of the gateways. Guimard designed the distinctive Paris metro station entrances. 140 of these were produced between 1900 and 1904 in prefabricated cast iron sections painted green to look like bronze. And the sinuous Art Nouveau lines look fragile, but most are still around well over a century later, providing the Paris metro with a strong identity. Art Nouveau architecture didn't gain the same traction in the United Kingdom as elsewhere in Europe. Charles Rennie Mackintosh was among the leading practitioners, and he achieved far greater recognition abroad than at home, exhibiting with significant success at the Vienna Secession of 1900. Mackintosh and his friend James Herbert McNair met their future wives, the sisters Margaret and Frances MacDonald, as fellow students at Glasgow School of Art. Working together on innovative graphics and creative art designs, combining influences from the arts and crafts movement, Art Nouveau and from Japan, they became known as the Glasgow Four. Glasgow School of Art in Renfrew Street is Charles Rennie Mackintosh's masterpiece, completed in 1899 and subject to 2 disastrous fires in recent years. Granite walls and sinuous ironwork blend tradition and innovation. Notice how the rose decorations in the ironwork reflect in the windows. It's Art Nouveau, but a pared down, restrained interpretation. And the same is true of Mackintosh's interior for the Willow tea rooms. The tea rooms served as art galleries for the Glasgow School. This is Margaret MacDonald's gesso panel, The May Queen, now in Glasgow Museum, which was originally displayed in the ladies' luncheon room alongside Charles's The Wassail. Charles said of Margaret, "I had talent, she had genius." The original Sauchiehall Street Tea Room building reopened after restoration in 2018. As an architect, Charles Rennie Mackintosh struggled for commissions. He designed few buildings. In retrospect, there is no doubting his particular and very special gift. He was perhaps just a little ahead of his time. Too modern, too bold, too different. In a period when the demand was for designs that were more clearly rooted in tradition. Now owned by the Landmark Trust, known as the Mackintosh Building and available as a holiday let, this was built in 1903 and 04 in Comrie, Perthshire, as a shop with a flat and offices. It's plain rough cast with a steep slate roof, a corner turret and tall chimney. Hill House, Helensburgh, now in the care of National Trust Scotland, dates to 1904. Totally asymmetrical, with a mix of curves and rectangles and different roof levels. Art Nouveau in Britain was essentially about interiors, but there are a few Art Nouveau inspired buildings. This is the Turkey Café in Granby Street, Leicester, built in 1900-1901. It has turkeys on either side of the entrance, another perches on top of the building, depicted in Dalton tiles. Edward Everard's former printing works in Broad Street, Bristol, of 1900, by architect Henry Williams, has a tiled Art Nouveau facade. Tiles again supplied by Dalton's Lambeth factory, designed by Dalton's chief artist, William James Neatby. They tell the story of printing, and Everard himself designed the Art Nouveau typeface. York Chambers in the marketplace at Long Eaton was commissioned by the Midland Counties Bank in 1903 from the architectural partnership of Child, Gorman and Ross. Their highly original design features a large keystone to the segmental window, decorative studding with brick nogging beside elongated oriels, and a shaped gable beneath barge-boarded eaves filled with blue and green tiles. Norwich's Royal Arcade opened in 1899 to a design by local architect George Skipper, taking on board the Art Nouveau aesthetic. This is the back of the inn's entrance, with its tiles decorated with flowing tree and flower motifs and a tree in stained glass. Next time, I'm going to take a look at how the state intervened to try and remedy the housing shortage after the First World War, and to tell the story behind an unusual private housing development. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons and click on the notification bell to be informed when the next video is available, or you can subscribe by clicking on the rose window over my shoulder.